right, guys, here we are. The first Lock and Roll Stars podcast, where we talk about anything and everything when it comes to Jiu Jitsu, MMA.
The stickers on his laptop.
The stickers on Squid's laptop. Current events, you name it. My name's Robbie D'Onofrio, owner, head instructor of Gracie Brandon out here. And we got Squid. He's actually part of the Men in Black. I know you guys don't think that's a real organization, but Squid actually heads that up.
It's real.
It's real. He goes overseas, then kills ISIS, and it's pretty amazing. But he is part of Men in Black. So, and then we got the one and only Sonny Parlin. Sonny Parlin is
a jiu-jitsu god.
Other than a jiu-jitsu god, he is also very hilarious, and he also, let's just say, Sonny puts his foot in his mouth sometimes.
Yes, all the time.
I'll tell you some stories about that here when we get started. Let me let these guys introduce themselves, and then we're gonna go. Topic of the day is jiu-jitsu.
Yes, sir.
I want to hear from Squid.
Tell us about the Men in Black.
Yeah.
All right. It's your boy Squid, the filmer. I'm in the Men in Black, and I don't know. I'm just here to fucking make you guys laugh and just keep this thing going. You know, jiu-jitsu and ISIS and hot topics. And
did you ever actually do jiu-jitsu with ISIS?
Hey, man, you know.
I don't think you can talk about that.
Choking out ISIS one at a time, you know what I'm saying? Like,
nice.
Oh.
Sonny,
I'm here.
Tell us a funny story.
About Squid or myself? Or
So let's just say we're all pretty 420 friendly.
Oh, yeah.
And we do a lot of Eddie Bravoing.
Yeah, we all smoke the Eddie Bravo.
We all smoke the Eddie Bravo. So
we're just getting that out of the way. We're going to tell you because, you know, we don't want you to find out later and be mad at us.
Yeah, don't be mad at us.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
He didn't tell me.
We're all still very cool people, very responsible people.
Yep. Wear my seatbelt when I drive.
However, Sonny used to not think that. Sonny used to think that it was like, what was that?
Well, no, I wasn't anti-weed.
Yeah, but what was that? The show they did back in like the 30s where it was like
the 30s.
Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness. Sonny thought if you took a hit, you were gonna be, you know.
Well, that's because what happened to me. Like that was like the last time I smoked. I was 25 or something, and pretty much my brother-in-law got me high, and next thing I know, I was like walking around a parking lot, scared, and you know, ready to go into the fetal position. And I swore weed off after that, and I was like, never again.
Well, tell everybody where we went, what happened when you
my weed
first
story.
started.
All right, so I'm 43 years old. But I didn't start smoking weed for real until like after 40. And the reason is due largely to a trip I took with Robbie. I got him a seminar up north at my buddy's school, Jay Bell.
What's up, Jay Bell?
Jay runs.
We love you.
We do. Jay runs a great school, Gracie Farmington Valley.
Yes,
and
sir.
He's got some great talent in that school. Jimmy and Frank. I think Frank's doing the Abu Dhabi trials this year.
Frank's one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
Yep, people are going to know his name for sure. But anyway, so we were going up there for a seminar, and I remember you and I were staying in the same hotel, and you know it was like the first time I'd kind of like spent a lot of time with you, and I saw, you know, Robbie was smoking weed a lot, like it was his job, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, like he's not gonna be able to do the seminar. He's going to embarrass me. My friends are going to think I'm a jerk for like bringing. Who is this guy? Why did you bring this like incapable person here to like teach us? And he can't even walk around. This is what I was thinking was going to happen. Of course, we go to the school, and you know, Robbie rolled with everybody, and you know Robbie does what Robbie does, and he just
annihilates everybody.
Yeah, he just and. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know, I just saw this guy smoke like a pound of weed. I mean, it probably wasn't that much, but
not quite.
he's dope, man.
But I was like,
to me, it was a normal amount. Just you know, hanging out in a different state, wanting to get a little high.
Right.
Sonny was so nervous, though.
I was dreadful, and I was dreading going in there. But yeah, Robbie took care of business. He put on a great seminar, and after that, I just kind of changed my mind about the thing. I was like, you know what? Like, if Robbie can do that and still perform like that, obviously it doesn't affect your athletic performance. Then, of course, you've got, what's his name, the swimmer, the Olympic
Michael Phelps.
Yeah, Michael Phelps smoking the bong, and I mean that's obviously cardio intensive swimming. So
anything is okay in moderation.
Right.
That's how I think of it.
Right.
Yeah, but Robbie doesn't have like a normal human body. I swear he's like a superhero. He's like Dope Man. He could smoke a pound in a single bound,
Your tolerance increases as time goes by.
And then, of course, he can still put his legs behind his head.
I know.
That.
Never understood that. I tried to do it once. I had like a hernia for like a week.
I never stretched.
Really?
Never. That was always just natural for me. Like I sleep like that. I sleep with my legs crossed. I put a pillow.
You sleep in butterfly guard. I got a photo of it.
Right, that's right. We were in Seattle. Sonny and I went to Seattle. We went to the Cannabis Cup. Was that in the Cannabis Cup, or was that?
Yeah, it was one of those. I think it was the Connecticut trip that I took that photo. I can't remember. They all run into each other.
You said butterfly guard.
Butterfly guard while he sleeps butterfly guard. That explains a lot. Then, of course, Rob called me out for taking pictures of you while you're sleeping. Like I'm creepy.
Hey, when we say Rob, we mean Rob Kahn, Rob Kahn.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be associated with us at this point.
He's like, oh my God.
Not quite yet.
Already, he's like cringing. Yeah, Rob Kahn. He may hate me at this moment, and you, but we love him. He's the reason I moved to Florida.
He loves us, for sure. He's going to be on this podcast, the next show. The next episode will feature Rob Kahn. And if you want to talk about the best storyteller that I know,
for sure.
That's Rob Kahn.
I've definitely heard the stories that Rob has told, at least a couple of them, but
he's also like one of the best teachers of jiu-jitsu in the world. He's kind of like the new John Danaher before John Danaher became known on Facebook.
He invented this thing.
Yes.
He invented the snap. Every single time I go to one of the Gracie schools, somebody does a snap. I'm like, okay.
He is absolutely the best instructor that I've ever learned from. And I'm not just saying that because he's my instructor, but when he teaches, he has a way of making people understand it, which I'm so thankful that rubbed off on me, somewhat.
Yeah.
And it's a big reason why I'm successful with what I do. But Sonny also owns a gym down in Bradenton, Florida, Gracie Bradenton.
Yep. Opened up under Rob Kahn, was it last year, a little bit over a year ago in May. And we have about 60 students right now, doing pretty well. Mostly adults. But the important thing there is that I used to be a software engineer, and I was fat. And I just sat in front of a computer and typed out code.
Interesting, such an interesting thing that you would drop a job like that.
Yeah, I'm poor now.
That paid significantly more in order to go risk everything and open up a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school for adults.
Yeah,
which is actually, I think you're happier now.
I am. I'm much happier. I love what I do now. I literally could not stand getting up and going to work every day when I was a software engineer. I hated it. Even when I worked from home for the last couple of years of it.
Was there ever a time that you liked it?
Yeah, when I first started doing it and the work was interesting to me. I've always kind of liked the work. I actually like coding, but I just hate corporate America. I hate dealing with those people and having to just, as I guess as an alpha male, the idea of like, when you disagree with somebody in an office environment and they say stupid stuff, you can't just say what's on your mind to them
or choke them out.
Yeah. Or choke them. So I just really don't think that corporate America is the environment for me.
It's so interesting to me because that's something I always admired about you, is that you were not afraid to do that. You weren't afraid to lose the paycheck and take that risk and just go for it. And it's so funny, he went for it and immediately was successful at it.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Well, I think the reason why I wasn't scared about losing money is because even though I made more money as a software engineer, I was always still poor because I'm terrible with money.
Yeah,
my wife and I My wife and I, you could give us $1 million and just cash, and we'll figure out a way of squandering it. I promise. You.
Sonny would be on that show like, I won the lottery. Now look where I'm at now.
Look where he's now. He's living in a box.
In a box.
That's a show.
Yeah.
Jesus, I would be on that show. I'm telling you,
You could be on that show.
I just don't know what I'm just horrible with money.
But on that note, yes, Rob Kahn will be joining us next time, so make sure you tune in for that. He, like I was saying, he's a great jiu-jitsu instructor, but on top of that, there were times, and guys that are listening to this that have been to Rob's classes, especially back in the day, where the class would start and Rob would get into a quick story, and all of a sudden an hour has passed by and everybody is sitting around staring at Rob, laughing hysterical, listening to a bunch of different stories. And basically jiu-jitsu class was story time, and then we would roll.
Story time with Rob Kahn.
Story time with Rob Kahn. That's the name of it. The next podcast.
I have him at my gym every Friday night, and it's honestly, I look forward to it because I feel like for my students to have the Rob experience, once a week is very important for me as a gym owner to make sure that they get that.
Right.
Yeah. Not every day you can be in a sport where you get to practice or roll or actually enjoy the sport with like very, known people.
Really talented jiu-jitsu people. Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. We're lucky to be in Tampa. We have a lot of great jiu-jitsu schools out here. I think there's 12 now Gracie Tampa locations.
I lost count.
Yeah, I lost count too. There's a lot. Rob started an empire out here, and a lot of us have been hitting the big shows. EBI, Matt Arroyo just did EBI 8.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Went against the King, Gordon Ryan.
Yep, the King,
who I think is a really cool guy.
Very nice kid.
Nice kid. Likes to talk on the internet quite a bit.
I find that stuff hilarious.
I do too. But I get messages from people that are like, what do you think of this Gordon Ryan character? Don't you think he's disrespectful?
Nah.
And I'm like, I mean, he's disrespectful all the way to the bank.
Exactly. Hey, when you can back it up, I'm just saying, when you can back it up, then you have the right to talk as much shit as you want. I mean, that's just the rules. The rules of talking shit is that if you're the guy that everyone cannot beat, then
right,
you're up there.
Yeah, he I think it's hilarious, and I think it gets people to pay attention to jiu-jitsu and to pay attention to our sport, which hasn't been the case. And now the prize money is so big in competition jiu-jitsu. The rule sets are awesome. Eddie Bravo Invitational rule set is amazing, and it keeps the action going, which I really like. I mean,
let me ask you something though.
Yeah.
So Eddie's whole system of like, the submission only format with the overtime and everything. I mean, I think it's very, it's definitely, it's good for the people who don't know about the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who are just looking at jiu-jitsu like, man, this is pretty cool. Like, these guys you're forced to either submit someone or,
right,
go to the overtime. So, I mean, what do you think is like a different tournament or competition that is based on the points as well as the submissions? You know what I'm saying? Like a way that they can combine the two where it's not like stalling like traditional tournaments.
Eddie's system, takes care of a lot of that. However, you can, because this, and for guys that don't know, the rule, it goes 10 minutes submission only, no points, and then after that it goes into overtime. If nobody gets submitted, it goes into overtime. You can either start on the person's back, or you can start in a position where that person is almost arm barred, and I think they call that the spider web position.
Spider web position.
And it's, you could win by fastest escape, or you could win by fastest submission during that overtime. Whoever gets the fastest wins. And I like it, although you can still, like, I think it was EBI 6, I could be mistaken, EBI 5 or something, was Rustam Chizev, who is a killer wrestler.
He's huge.
His wrestling is
very hairy.
Yeah, and he's the Russian Bear is what they call him. And he actually did really well in EBI, but let's keep it real. He stalled until he went into overtime and then tried to win in the overtime. So you can still stall, but that could be a strategy that people use to win that rule set. Right. So I'm not against points because you're not in a real fight in a submission grappling match. So we're allowed to win on points. I'm not against it if you use that rule set. You can't say, because it's not submission only that it doesn't count. Because then I can say, I can't punch you in the face, so it doesn't count.
Right.
So let's
it's
just
not MMA,
and
then it's not a street fight, and then
right.
It's not.
Right. You can't. If I was in a street fight, I would just gouge your eyes out. Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So that being said, the rule set that I love, that I think would be great, it would keep the action going, would be 15 points or submission. No time limit. First one to 15 points wins.
That seems like
submission. So let's say I pass your guard, and say everything's 2 points or everything's 3 points, whatever it is. I pass your guard, I get my 2 points. I mount you, I get points for that. Now what? I can't just sit and mount the whole time. There's no time limit. I have to transition to your back, or I have to let you return guard, pass again, which gives you the chance to submit me or get up and keep the action moving. And it's gonna keep the matches relatively short.
Yeah, and it's gonna make it definitely more fast paced for the guy that's like, he's up on points, but the other guy's like, oh shit, I need to make some moves happen.
Right. Exactly.
I certainly don't mind points, but I just don't like, when I see guys excessively celebrating a points victory match over someone else.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Guys beating their chests and doing backflips because they,
got an advantage.
Won by an advantage or some shit. I mean, I just don't get that.
Guys that don't know jiu-jitsu as much, an advantage means that you almost did something. You almost submitted the person.
You almost shot that 3-pointer at the finals,
right?
But you didn't get
it. But
everyone's commending you that you did a good job with the shot.
Right. So you could get an almost guard pass. That's if I almost pass the legs of my opponent, they can give you an advantage. And then some people win their matches that way. And especially in the
again, nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that. It's just when I see guys like, doing the big yell and beating their chest, and it's like, are you kidding me?
That's a lot of the Brazilian crowd.
I just don't understand that.
Nothing against the Brazilians. I love all of you, but you guys celebrate excessively sometimes.
I've just never understood.
For real. Like they just won the UFC welterweight championships.
Yeah.
They're just like,
it's like the Naga intermediate division. The guy's beating his chest like an ape because he won on an advantage. Baja! It's like, calm down,
it's
man.
Like, bro, calm down. Hulk Jr.
You won a $1.99 medal
that you paid $100 for.
And it says world. That you paid. It says world champion. Not to knock those tournaments or anything. They're all great, and I compete in them as well. It's just like we were saying, the excessive celebrating.
Yeah, it's
funny.
It's funny.
But I like to compete. I don't put much, I guess, stock in what it means for me, because I guess I've always kind of considered things, at the lower level, not at the highest levels, where you got people who can consistently submit other people. But I've always, any given Sunday kind of thing,
Right.
It's just how I look at it.
Well, to me, that's why to this day, the most impressive grappler to me is still Marcelo Garcia.
Yeah, man.
Because it didn't matter what rule set that he played in, he was tapping your ass, and he did.
Dude is a beast.
And it didn't matter, and he wasn't necessarily a wrestler, and he smoked ADCC. So to me, Marcelo's he's still the king. Sorry, Gordon. Marcelo's the king.
I think he's a lot of people's king, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, going back to Squid's point earlier about, being in a sport where you can actually grapple with your heroes, it's really cool. Since I've been in Florida, I've gotten to train with Cyborg. I got to train with, when I was up north, I got to train with Marcelo. Down here, I got to train with the members of the Danaher Death Squad. Gordon and Gary and Eddie Cummings and Oliver Taza too, and he's really, really good.
All super nice individuals.
Yes, yes.
Nothing but respect for all those guys.
Absolutely.
What do you think about the talking shit on the internet as a jiu-jitsu, calling people out, doing that whole thing?
I mean, I'm not. I just got nothing but love for everybody. I want to give everybody hugs, So I'm not going to be doing it, but I certainly find it entertaining, for sure. I mean,
I think it's great. I love it.
I love it too. I have to admit, I love when I see it happening, like with the Wagner Rocha and AJ Agazarm.
Oh my God, that is going to be
with the poetry, the slam poetry. I mean, this is hilarious.
It definitely does make it fun. It does make it more fun to watch, because sometimes you could watch a jiu-jitsu match and you can fall asleep even if you know jiu-jitsu, but when you have a storyline behind it, it makes everything more fun to watch, and more people are gonna pay attention to jiu-jitsu, and that's huge, because then the prize money is bigger, and then you can actually make a living doing jiu-jitsu. Which is great.
But it is funny, because you always used to see like stuff like that in private message, or like you would hear about it, like so and so said he was going to go wreck so and so and blah blah blah, and it's always in private message or like on some chat board where everybody's anonymous. But now this stuff's right out there in everybody's face on Facebook, and it's hilarious.
Yeah,
everyone can see it. It's like every sport has to have like the bad guy and the good guy, and that's what brings people in. Like that's what happened with Connor.
That's
and
true.
Then when the whole thing with Mayweather, when he was fighting Pacquiao, like people want to see people instigate shit. We like to see people talking shit.
Well, I mean, that fight was about 5 years too late.
Yeah, it was.
Which one?
Pacquiao. Mayweather.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know Sonny.
That's right. I mean, I don't know the names, but
Sonny's been doing jiu-jitsu for how long?
I'm in my 10th year now.
10th year, and he doesn't know like what MMA is or any other type of combat.
I know like a couple of the names, like Chael Sonnen. I've heard of him.
But it's amazing to me that he's been around this for so long and just knows nothing about MMA.
I don't know, man. I just never got into MMA. I mean, I like the early ones.
You need to pay attention more.
I know who Hoist Gracie is.
Hoist Gracie is in our jiu-jitsu lineage. That's who gave Rob Kahn his black belt. For those that don't know, most of you listening right now probably know, but
you know what it is, and I know this is gonna people are gonna think I'm a loser for this, but I don't care. But I mean, I started watching the UFC back in 1993 because I'm 43 years old, so like I remember the UFC when it came out,
right?
And I remember like how they just kind of kept changing the rules to make it harder and harder for the grapplers to win.
Yeah,
and I just okay, now you can't wear your gi anymore, and now you have to wear gloves. Now there's going to be timed rounds. Now there's going to be this. Now there's going to be that. Now there's weight classes. Now you can't.
Right. Well, what happened? They turned it into whoever is the best athlete.
Right.
Is basically wins. Whoever in mixed martial arts, a lot of times it's whoever blitzes first.
Yeah.
Gets the win, and it's. It's definitely more than that, but
of course. There's still technicians like Damian Maya going representing and doing awesome.
Beast mode, man.
That's one of two of the fighters that Sonny knows the name of.
Yeah, see, I know a couple.
Damian Maya is, to me, the best grappler in mixed martial arts.
Oh, no question about that.
Maybe the best grappler in jiu-jitsu. We don't know. What awesome super fights it would make between Damian Maya and whoever in the grappling world. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Maybe a Gordon Ryan versus Damian Maya.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be really, really cool to see.
But yeah, man, and of course Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz, like those guys are amazing grapplers too, and really good technicians. But I know, I just as the sport evolved and changed, and they started adding all the rules to it, I became less and less interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the sort of tipping point for me was when a few years ago when Brock Lesnar got into the UFC, and I was just, he's just calling people out like it was the WWE. And I don't know, man, it just turned me off completely, and I just didn't care. That's why I really was into that fight when Cain Velasquez beat him up.
Brock Lesnar was I believe, Division I.
Well,
Yeah, he was a beast.
Amazing
Yes, of
wrestler.
course.
So it wasn't like he was like CM Punk who
No.
didn't know anything
But he
about
brought-
fighting and
but
came
he
in.
brought the antics over.
But a lot of people don't know Brock had some fights before he even joined the UFC.
Right? Yeah, he had. I believe he only had one.
Yeah, so I mean, at least he got a taste of what it was like.
He fought someone in Japan. It's like they just gave him a sacrificial lamb to just murder.
Fight this big
He
ass
just yeah.
Minotaur looking guy with a
Right.
weak ass chest tattoo, and he probably just killed it. Dude.
How much money would you have to get paid to get into the ring with Brock Lesnar?
You probably.
$1.
I mean, if someone gave me $1 million, I would fight anyone on the planet. I'd probably fight anyone on the planet for
$5.
I don't know, 200 grand. I'll fight anyone in the world.
You need $5 in a quesadilla. We're game for
But
everybody.
to fight on a local show, no thanks. Not for $600.
I just, I think the sight of Brock Lesnar coming at me full speed would probably make me, crap my pants.
Coming all at you. Coming all on you.
Aren't you glad I said
and all
at me?
you.
I said at me.
All at him. The
Brock
sight
Lesnar coming
all.
all at Sonny. That's great.
Sonny, you would like that.
Sonny, you would pull
It
guard.
just went from bad. It just went from bad to way worse.
You would go.
I can
north.
picture that. Sonny, he's coming at Sonny, and Sonny just
fucking
pulls
mouth
guard,
Pulls guard.
pulls turtle position, and taps out immediately.
I did it. Where's my losing fee?
It's so funny.
All
Well,
right,
he's
so
a scary individual.
Yes, he is.
But like I said, I just wasn't into his WWE antics that he brought with him. Wasn't
Right.
into it, and therefore,
Yeah, but you're into it with jiu-jitsu.
yeah, like I said, I watch some of the UFCs and I get into some of them, but it's mostly just to hang out with my friends and have fun. I really don't give a shit about the fights or who
You
wins.
didn't care about Conor McGregor?
I mean, I was. You
You were into that one.
I was
he
into
was.
that one. Yeah, I wanted him to lose.
Yeah, well, he did.
Well, the first time.
Right, the first time. Second time he won decisively, in my opinion.
yeah, me too.
But
Let's get some pretty cool topics going on today.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. All
No
right.
lives matter. None.
None at all. I just claim all of them, or none of them.
It's
I don't know,
it's such a strange thing to have a group that is for equality and yet they are not for equality at the same time. It's
I think it's kind of the way that I look at it is it's easy to pinpoint and say like this is Black Lives Matter, when it's like somebody acting a fool. Like you see that one dude in the store and he's acting a fool. It's like, man, he must be this and that and that. Like I think it's an organization that can go both ways. Like, oh look, they're doing something good here, but then they can do something bad here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when all this stuff happens and you see people rioting, then you're like, what in the fuck are they thinking? They're taking 2 steps back, and then you'll see somebody do something good, and you're like, all right, well that's helping the cause. So I mean, it's easy to pinpoint the bad.
Do
but-
you think that, again, you're in the Men in Black,
Yeah.
so you actually you have can have a serious valid opinion on it. Do you think that just having that group causes separation, causes division at all, just in general?
I think I personally don't think that the group is what causes the division. I think it's the actions of what people do inside and outside of it. It's easy to paint the face of something bad when it's something as like a group. You can point like a group and be like, all right, this group is this way, But like I say, like as long as I fucked up. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying now.
Here's my take on the Black Lives Matter group. I think there is definitely racial disparities and injustices that happen in the justice system for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the incarceration rates for simple crimes like marijuana or whatnot, and you'll see a lot more black people in jail than whites. So I definitely think there's racial disparities, institutional racial disparities that are still happening today. But where I think Black Lives Matter screws up is that they are kind of they're not really. They're just going after the sensational stuff.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter that it was a black guy a black cop that shot a black guy in the street. They went and started rioting. That's crazy. That's
It's like they're reactive in the worst ways. It's like, man, if you're gonna be reactive about something, like, do it in a positive way. Don't go rioting. What's rioting gonna do?
Or they take up the case of someone like Mike. What was his name? Mike Brown.
Yeah.
Hands up, don't shoot.
Yeah.
That's a bad case. Like, I wouldn't. If I'm trying to champion a cause, I'm not going to pick that guy.
Yeah.
To be my martyr.
Well, that was the video on Facebook, so that's their only choice.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is it's what's shown
Yeah,
through the media is what they're going to react to in that way. But
and it's crazy because the media really controls people and how they feel about something. Like, people are quick to listen and watch what the media pushes out, and they will only show you video of like an incident. So I mean, that's all we have to.
Well, there's obviously an agenda here.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I mean, the agenda seems to me, let's put the white lower class / middle class against the black lower class / middle class. Watch them fight and make more money, and not let them be organized.
Yep.
Because it's just more and more that way. They're just playing with us like puppets. And then you have smart, intelligent, black or white people on the internet saying things
that makes sense, and nobody wants to listen.
Well, that makes sense, but you also have those people angry.
Yeah.
Intelligent people that aren't racist are angry. Intelligent people that aren't oppressed and aren't, they're angry.
Yeah.
Online, and it doesn't make any sense. It's just what you're seeing through these news sources that have an agenda.
I still think it's really dumb to stand in the road for a protest.
I don't, dude. Bro. If I'm going to work,
I will run you the fuck over.
That happened.
That
happened. Some dude was in his car. I don't know, it was a lady or a guy.
It's happened more than once.
Ran their ass over, and I've been like,
that was an accident too. She literally, it was a woman. And she didn't see the person and didn't even slow down. And just crack. Took the person. I don't know if they died or what, but then there was gunfire.
Well, don't walk in the middle of the street. Number one, that's what you learn when you're 4.
But this one was in the middle of like an intersection, like in the middle of like a freeway, and like it was like a bunch of people that held hands and stand in the middle of the road.
Oh yeah, it's different.
And this dude
went right through him.
Like he came to a stop, and then he just started driving forward. And then ran over one of them, and then one dude tried to chase after him. Police officer double-legged him, legit good technique.
Slammed his ass
and
too.
Took his ass to the ground.
Well, that's what these people don't remember. It's like, the universe doesn't care. There might be laws, but the universe doesn't care. And when I see a 3,000-pound hunk of metal coming at me, I'm going to get out of the way because I know that 3,000-pound hunk of metal is going to run me over and kill me.
Yeah, the universe is not on your side of your problem, your oppression. And that's the thing. I mean, here's my question. I'm not black. Squid, you are.
Yep.
He is? You are?
He is.
Oh.
Believe it or not. He's
never noticed.
I'm not.
I thought you were black, Sonny.
Sonny is
kind of gave it away. I was like, why does Sonny have 3 legs? I never understood. And
are you oppressed? And I asked that sincerely.
No, because I'm an OG. No, I'm just playing. Like,
do you honestly feel oppressed?
No,
in
honestly,
general.
No, I don't. Because I mean, I haven't lived. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn, and I've always lived around people. I've lived near black folks, lived near white folks. I lived near all types of people. Came to Florida, same thing. People have been cool to me, and I think it's.
Now you've experienced racism. Tell us. Where have you experienced?
I definitely experienced racism, but I experienced racism like in places like Mississippi or deep down south in Louisiana.
Like, do you have an example of something that happened?
All right, so it was actually me and my lady. We were at a gas station, just stopped to get some gas, went inside to buy some some snacks and shit, and then we were in the line, and then the lady was like, oh, I can't sell that to you. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, oh, I just can't sell it to you. And she just looked us in the face and just told us that I can't sell that food to you.
Oh, food. Okay.
Yeah, just like snacks. I'm just like, nah, your boy don't use condoms.
Okay, so this person was raised. Obviously, they didn't sell you this food because you were black.
I mean, I'm not going to blame it on that, but I am going to say that we were the only black folks inside there. And, like, it was just like food. Like,
it's okay to say, because that to me sounds pretty legit.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
just like,
you're the only black people in there. Everybody else
was getting their shit.
They're getting their shit. They wouldn't sell you the food. So probably because you were black.
Yeah. She didn't give you a reason?
No, she was just looking me in the eyes and she was like, I can't sell you that. And like everybody else was in the line like, I guess that's what it's supposed to happen. Like,
yeah,
they were just like, all right.
So in
like nobody said shit.
Small portions of the country.
Like I was in like down like deep south, like south that shit like that happens all the time.
Northern
like,
Florida or southern Alabama.
Yeah, pretty much. So like the parts where you don't stop for gas, you're just like, you know what, I'll just run on fumes and then I'll Flintstones the shit out of my car until I get somewhere.
That's not, I mean, that's kind of sad, but there are places that I can't drive and that Sonny can't drive as well.
And that's called Marcy, Brooklyn.
Right. You can't go there. There's certain places.
I ain't scared.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
you can't stop a bullet with your jiu-jitsu, but
I will catch it with my teeth. Spit it right back out at them.
Spit it right at them and kill them.
Okay, so then that means there's do you think that anything that anybody says or does is going to make that clerk that didn't sell you the food not racist?
No. I mean,
she probably has to die. And then we'll have one less racist piece of shit.
I think you mean like of old age, though.
Yes, not like, kill her. I mean, she has to.
Robbie, you're now like blacklisted. They're listening to you. No. Red team go. Red team go.
Once she dies, there'll be one less racist person, and the generation coming up, especially the millennials, I don't see it. I'm sorry, but I don't see the racism.
I'm noticing that this generation is way more open. So like a lot of things.
They're a little too open sometimes.
Yeah, some of them a little too open, you know. But
they're open as long as you don't, argue about their safe spaces and their trigger warnings.
And try to assume their gender.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Or if you're vegan. Shout out to all the vegans out there. I'm not shouting out, actually, to take that back. So
vegans are cool.
But
sometimes they get a little bit crazy and up your and they're judgmental.
I was around
watch me eat a cheeseburger in front of a vegan.
I was around with one of my homies yesterday and he's a vegan and I'm like drinking beers and stuff. I'm like, dude, you want a beer? He's like, all right, well, I gotta read the side of it. So it didn't say anything and my dude called the number on the side of the bottle to ask if they had any animal based products inside this beer.
Wow. Jesus. The problem is and I don't know it factually, but from what I understand, there really is no way to get away from ingesting something that has to do with an animal.
Because things have to grow with decomposed matter.
Right.
So either way, you're eating the shit out of some decomposed matter.
Right. It's just life, right?
It's just life, man.
So I understand some vegans just do it because they just don't like meat.
Yeah, and some of them have reasons like, whether it's stuff that happened when they were younger or just...
They were molested by a...
cheeseburger.
Yeah. Big ass cheeseburger. Big black cheeseburger.
But
how fast we go down that road.
We went from Brock Lesnar coming on Sonny to being molested by a cheeseburger.
Jesus.
But yeah, man, like I don't know. I think
so. It seems to me Black Lives Matter, then at that point, I mean, you're not going to make these old racist people not racist. It's just not going to happen. Black Lives Matter is only going to make them more racist.
It's just muscle memory. Like if it's something that's been ingrained in your mind for years and years and years, like there's you're not going to forget that, and you're not going to change your mind within like a year or a matter of months or based on somebody's suggestion. Like, hey, this is bad. You shouldn't do that. So.
Right, right. It's just how you were raised.
It's just, and at that
there's
point,
probably still some racist cops. I don't necessarily believe that all of these people that were killed by the cops that's controversial was because they were black. The guy that got,
especially not the ones that were black cops that shot them.
especially that. So the uprising about that. So Black Lives Matter is really just about
I mean, I think it's about
the cops.
not even that. I just think it's about awareness of hey, this stuff is happening, and then you have the extremists within it that take it way beyond what it should be, and then point it at the police officers. But it's stuff that happens every day. I think the initial beginning of this movement started off okay, but then I feel like it's just getting out of hand now.
Well, people are using it as an excuse to do terrible things.
I just think focusing on police shootings is not, and if Black Lives Matter, they shouldn't be focusing on police shootings. There's so many better things to focus on, like I was saying earlier about the injustice system, the laws, people in jail for nonviolent crimes.
Yeah, man. Like dudes that go to jail for like 40 years over like having a gram of weed. Like,
yeah,
well,
40
Obama's
years.
actually taking care of a lot of that.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, he's
Not all of it. I mean, he's let a lot of
he let
prisoners
some people
out.
out, but I don't know that he's changed as far as like how people do sentencing and all that.
Right.
That's probably still happening, but I think those are the real problems that they should be looking at. And if they really do care about actual deaths that are occurring, I think they need to start in places like Chicago, because if you just look at the FBI statistics, I mean, black people being shot by white cops is a very low number of black deaths in general.
Right. Well, the problem, this is not a war between blacks and whites. This is a war between the poor and the rich. And I say rich, I mean like the 1%, the 400 people that have more money than the rest of the world.
Not thousandaires like myself.
Right. Not thousand. But
years.
those are the people that control the media, that basically are controlling everything you see, and they have an agenda, and they want us to fight. So there's no uprising against the government, and they have complete control. Some people take it as far to think that all of this cops versus the poor people and this controversy is in order for Obama to declare martial law and bring the UN troops in.
That shit ain't happening.
I don't think so.
Who thinks about stuff?
People do.
Like,
That's big on the internet right now. People are thinking that.
fuck? Oh my god.
You know what I hate about the internet? Conspiracy theories.
Wow.
Your
I
boy
hate-
Jesse V, he does a lot of those.
I hate all conspiracy theories. All of them.
All right, what about
I don't believe any conspiracy theories
Dude.
at all.
So
Not
you don't
one.
believe-
Some of them are.
dude?
Nope.
Aliens.
I don't know.
Aliens.
Nope.
You don't believe in aliens?
Nope.
Let me tell you an alien
JFK
story.
was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. We went to the moon.
Come on.
We went to the moon. 9/11 happened because people flew planes into the buildings and the Pentagon. And, I mean, that's just what happened. Anybody who thinks anything different is friggin' moron.
So you don't believe in like this shit with aliens and stuff?
What aliens?
Fucking aliens, man. Like Area 51, Roswell, Mexico, all that shit that's happening.
No.
Dude.
There are some things that I am suspicious about, but mostly I agree. I don't necessarily think JFK was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. I think there might have been.
You think there was a
Well,
grassy knoll?
I
There's
think
a-
no.
there is
He got shot by 2 male models. You know what I'm talking about.
What? Who?
It was my Zoolander reference.
Oh.
You went
I
right
didn't
above
know.
your
I
head,
did
just
not
like
see
the
that.
planes in 9/11.
Yep.
What?
See, maybe Bush did do 9/11.
But there's interesting things with 9/11. The way the buildings fell.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm
Jet
not
fuel
picking
can't
sides.
melt steel beams.
Whenever in history have a building fell like that after being hit by something?
So Robbie's gonna play devil's
Well, I
advocate
don't know,
now.
dude.
Whenever
How
in
often?
history.
How often has a plane hit a building?
Good question.
So
I don't know that
we don't know.
That we got to learn that.
So maybe
statistic.
that's maybe all.
Listen, I don't know what the episode was, but there was a giant article in the magazine Popular Mechanics that dispelled all of the 9/11 bullshit theories, and it was really good. It went into detail about how and why the Twin Towers fell the way that they did.
And what they say?
Well, I don't remember all of it because it was a long time ago that I read it, and I'm not a scientist or an engineer or any of those things.
You're not.
And I, so I would be remiss if I were to start repeating stuff because it would just be flowing out of my ass like diarrhea.
flowing
right
right, out
into the
your ass.
microphone.
Which happens to Sonny at least 2 or 3 times a day
Like 3 times
at
a
my
day.
house.
Being two, that's being modest.
Actually, twice today.
Nice.
Yeah,
Every
well,
time I come here, I just have the urge to shit. I don't know.
every time he comes over here.
And once I've shit in someone's house, I feel comfortable there, and I can
That's like your mark.
go on with.
Like that's how you like how dogs just like
Yes, I've marked
he
my
like
territory.
he just marks territory. It's like, this is a safe zone.
Yeah. Once I feel that way, I can be comfortable. It's all about my comfort level.
I'm thinking. I think Trump gets the presidency.
No, yeah,
What do you
he's
think?
gonna win.
Yeah, I think for sure he's going to win.
Yeah, I
think
don't know that.
I think there's a lot of secret Trump voters out there. A lot of people that probably say on Facebook that they hate Trump and they would never vote for him.
Yeah,
Like Jason Leanders. He's one. He's like, I hate both of the candidates. I hate Hillary and I hate Trump. I'll bet you $1 million, and he may never admit it, but I'll bet you $1 million that when he goes into that voting booth and shuts the curtain behind him, he's hitting that Trump button. You know you are, Jason Leanders. You know you are.
I would assume Jason Leanders is not one of the ones that is a secret Trump voter.
No, he is.
I expect to see him at the rallies.
Who you voting for, boy? Trump.
I think there's a lot of Jason Leanders out there. I think a lot of them. People that
Yeah.
just will never admit it, but when the day comes, they are going to vote for Trump, man.
Well, Hillary Clinton doesn't. To me, she's just not saying anything. And if you look, and again, I'm on Facebook, and I see when Trump goes live, speaking anywhere, and you've watched those videos where it's like likes and hearts going across the screen, flying across the screen, right? And there's like 1 million people watching.
Like the Facebook Live video.
The Facebook Live videos where everyone can like it, or you can do a heart or whatever. And there's like 1 million people that love Trump. Some of them are angry faces. Some of them are thumbs up. Some of them are hearts. But there's a lot of hearts. And if you watch a Hillary Clinton one, every single one is an angry face.
Angry face.
So it's like, who is voting for Hillary Clinton? I have never met one person.
I've met some.
You have?
I've met some Hillary voters.
What are they
They're
like?
exactly how you'd expect they would be. I've met Hillary supporters, and I think. I mean, I don't have a bad opinion about Hillary supporters. I just don't think.
I'm not saying that either. It's amazing to me that she's in the race with him, when it just to me doesn't seem like there are many people supporting her.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like you hear about the polls, they're neck and neck. It's like, I don't know about that.
That doesn't seem right to me. Well, she's going after the poor people. I mean, she wants to get the poor vote.
That's what her husband did, didn't he?
The
went
Democratic Party kind of
toward that.
goes towards that class of people, but this doesn't seem like.
What are the chances of Hillary Clinton, if she gets the presidency, wanting to get revenge on Bill, and then like bringing someone into the White House and having
Like some
sex?
guy that's like super hot.
Yeah,
He's like her secretary.
here, wait, use this cigar. Like just because she wants revenge, she would never put a cigar in there, but she just wants to.
Dude, I can totally see that. She just has like hot dudes surrounding her in the Oval Office.
Hillary Clinton gets in trouble getting hit inside the Oval Office.
I think that her presidency,
That'd be amazing.
her entire presidency, is just because she wants to get revenge against Bill for cheating on her.
Possibly.
What if that was a legitimate thing?
Now that's a conspiracy theory I can get behind.
He could get behind.
You would get behind
You would get
Hillary
behind it,
Clinton, wouldn't you?
You get behind that all day.
I wouldn't kick her out of bed.
God, that's gross.
That's disgusting. Her in her pantsuit.
Oh, man.
Only if she wears that.
Oh, man, that's
Hillary
awful.
Clinton.
Well,
rock a
speaking
pants.
of Hillary Clinton, have you guys watched? Was it Behind the Ferns? It was.
Oh, I did with Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah. That was straight.
That was funny.
Usually, I don't watch a lot of like political. I don't watch shit that's political, but Zach Galifianakis, that dude's just straight comedy gold.
Oh, he's hilarious.
And he had her on the show, and man,
Well, Obama was on that show too,
yeah.
and it was, it's meant to be awkward. Like it wasn't meant to be.
I mean, it was all scripted. Like
Yeah,
they
like,
chose to. I mean, it was definitely funny and how he put together that material.
Squid.
Oh man.
All right, boys. So what's the fact of the day? We gotta have one educated fact of the day. So I had a fact of the day earlier that I told Robbie D.
Oh, yeah, what was it?
Sir, I found out. I saw this on a meme, so I'm stealing from somebody. Shout out to the guy who made the meme. But Sir Isaac Newton, he died a virgin.
That's crazy.
Yep. That's what he gets for creating calculus, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, calculus is not necessarily a sexy thing.
Who do we know that's a virgin?
Let's
call them out.
Little kids.
Yep. That Nene kid.
Jiu Jitsu prodigy. Like who do we think is a virgin?
Anyone who wears socks in their gi is definitely a virgin. Anyone who wears rash guards and pulls them all the way down so you can only see half the shorts is definitely a virgin.
Have you ever tried to put a rash guard on while your body's already wet? It's like that scene in Ace Ventura where he's coming out of the hippo.
No. You never seen that movie?
I'm pretty sure I have watched it, but
you're young though. That's why.
Yeah.
See,
I'm straight out the womb, boys.
The young people will not get my movie references.
Sonny always does that. We'll be around a bunch of 20-year-olds and he'll start making references to movies.
How about that Y2K?
Everyone looks at him like, "What the fuck, Sonny?"
You boys,
I got a funny Sonny.
Remember that Archie Bunker episode?
Exactly.
You boys remember black and white TVs? I remember I had the best one out there.
What
Sonny, I have a funny story about Sonny putting his foot in his mouth.
No.
Gotta hear this now.
Sonny and I go to Applebee's.
Oh, this one. This is mild.
Well, it was embarrassing. So, the waitress comes over to the table, and the waitress has an obvious lisp. She's like, "How can I help you guys?" You know,
I honestly didn't catch up.
It was so obvious that she had a lisp, which is fine and everything. She was very nice, very pretty girl. However, Sonny then, not realizing, looks at the menu, and what was the item?
It was like the savory cedar salmon.
Yeah. He goes, except Sonny goes, "Say it how you said it."
I'll have the savory cedar salmon.
Yeah. And I turned red.
Oh my god.
And the waitress looks at Sonny and goes, "Are you making fun of me?"
And I was like, "No." I really wasn't.
This is just the type of things that happens when you go out with Sonny. So if you ever hang out with him,
I will embarrass you somehow.
For sure.
Yes.
You'll get embarrassed by Sonny. And I'm sure when Rob Kahn comes on the show, he will tell.
He's got a few Sonny stories.
He's got a few Sonny stories.
I think anyone who hangs out with you more than 20 minutes has a Sonny story.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's just.
I apologize for that.
So, guys, if you're out there and you happen to run into Sonny, I mean, best believe your day is about to just...
I used to think that I was the king of uncomfortable conversation until I met Spence and Chad.
Yeah. Oh, Chad.
Yeah,
that guy.
One of my students at my gym.
He's
love
a good
him.
guy. We love
him. Great blue belt. Jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is really good. But oh my God, will he make you feel uncomfortable in like from 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds? It's just crazy. He'll take any comment that you make and will turn it into something sexual, like immediately.
Like, hey, how you guys doing? Oh, you guys want to be doing it, huh?
Exactly. Literally, that's what it is.
Have a nice day. Oh yeah, your day's gonna be nice.
That's what she said. That's what he said.
But what we love about Chad the most is how he comments on every single post on Facebook.
Yeah, that's not annoying at all.
No,
not at all.
We love that.
I love it, especially when he's doing it 2-3 comments at a pop.
Yeah.
Next time on Lock and Roll Stars, next episode, we're going to be bringing down
Rob Kahn.
I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Todd Adult Boutique Store.
Yep.
And Scores.
Not at all.
Sonny, you're gonna wake up the next morning with a big ass package of just straight all types of plastic dicks all in your front door. Like, thank you for the shout out.
I hope that happens.
Well, here, let me give them my address.
Oh man. Hey guys, thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. This podcast is going to get better and better, I promise. We will see you soon.